Alright, good evening everyone and welcome to the third round of the PSGL F3 on PlayStation here at the fabulous Silverstone circuit, the host of the first World Championship Grand Prix back in 1950. I am Otaku Logan, and I was going to say I'm alongside Tom Cairns, but he's decided to run off to Brighton. Brilliant. I'm on my own again. So, we have 19, it's supposed to be 20, but unfortunately our last week's winner, Top G, cannot get in, so we only have 19 at the moment. Should just give you a rundown on the standings, and the top two haven't even won a race. We've got Tien, I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry to that person, but they are in first with 2 podiums, a third and a second. We have Riley Mackay for second and the fifth, so 22 versus 18. Renz with 17, the win and the fastest lap. And Top G in fourth with the win without the fastest lap. They have both only started the one race. Marius in fifth with 13th, who has the last remaining podium. So this is the third of 11 rounds. We are going to Britain this week. Next week will be the new Qatar circuit in Lusail, and then it will be the Red Bull Ring in Austria. The 6 final rounds are a mystery. How fun! We don't get to know it in advance. But yes, this is the fabulous Silverstone circuit, nearly 5.9 kilometres. We don't need any introduction for this. It has hosted the British Grand Prix since its inception, and has hosted every British Grand Prix since 1987. And it used to share it with Brands Hatch and Aintree. Of course, this is the infamous Silverstone. It's gone through many guises over the years. It was originally a RAF base in the Second World War, before it was converted into a racetrack. And they, I believe, used the inner runways of the circuit before they used the perimeter. And then it evolved and evolved and evolved to the point where we have Wellington Straight involved. So let's just give you a lineup of all the drivers as they make their way out. Ritty Hullett in the Williams starting the first lap of the session in the Williams, which is the team he is with. So I'll just give you a rundown as Ritty Hullett does a lap of the lineups tonight. So the ones we are missing tonight are Renz again, Devon and Spania's reserve anyways, so is Top G and Armateo tonight it looks like. Yeah, Top G and Armateo, who is in the other McLaren. I'm actually just got word we are getting a second commentator in, so I'm just going to get that in for a second, sorry for this. Oh, and Ritty Hullett's done a spin. We didn't catch that. No, I'm not good at this. Alright. Can you still hear me? Alright, and we have the fastest lap set. Welcome back, by the way. Well, it was the fastest lap by Tom, but the championship leader's just to say it, strip it away from him. No, the championship leader has it stripped away from him from FVR Tom in the Ferrari. And I am wearing a Ferrari shirt. No bias here, though, no bias. I just like Ferrari shirts. Just strategies everywhere. And Danielle sets the fast lap, the first under 125 here at Silverstone. I am joined in the booth by FBR Timon. Welcome, sir.
Oh, hello. Yeah, I mean, happy to fill in last moment. I do believe that the other commentator for F3 is again missing this week, but I'm happy to fill in. If you're able to send me a quick lobby invite, I
sugar.
would be able to join the lobby as well and help you out there. Meanwhile, Daniel, though, he is currently on pole position from what I can see from the stream. Daniel doing very well in F4 last time around. So let's see what he actually can do. But F3 being the tier that is the step up one for F2. So I'm expecting a very good race here.
Yes, we are, of course. It's produced some fantastic races over the years. Do have some technical issues, I'm afraid, so you're not seeing a screen as I speak. I do apologise. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll try and get back as soon as possible. So make sure you click spectate and not race, because that will ruin it. Just a question. Are you the same Timon that once raced in esports?
No, I am not that talented, unfortunately. I am a washed manager for Visceral. So, yeah, no. Well, all here, but it seems like everyone has finished their first stint as of right now. Although we do still have a few ones actually on for their second run, maybe even. But no, everyone's just coming in.
Yes, so we have everyone's first ones. I do apologise for the problems we had earlier. Of course, we had a last-minute reserve commentator I forgot to add because I'm an idiot. And we had problems trying to invite a certain person, so I believe it was Top G who can't get in, but he's only missed like 6 minutes of the session. He's got enough time to do two laps, I should say. So everyone coming into the pits, I really should have done it during the intermission. I do apologise, but you know, this is just this is part of the job, I guess. You're going to be faced with these unusual situations you don't expect. Ruti Hullet, who spun, sorry, on his first lap, is about to get into his possible first flying lap. He's one of 3 drivers yet to set a lap, actually 4. Are you in the lobby, by the way?
I am fully in and ready to go. I did commentate F4 before this, so that's why I'm also on a little bit of a late side. In F4, the pole time was a 24.8, and our top 3 was within 0.007 of a second. So I am expecting a few improvements still from this F3 grid, and especially maybe even Enela Ruti because we know how quick this Finn can be. Of course, being as cool as Kimi Räikkönen when under pressure. Whoa. That's at least what he wishes, because he did spin previously. It's a 25.065 for the man from Finland.
Give that man an ice cream. Good news. Top G, our defending race winner, is in the session. He is finally joined. There you go. There he is at the bottom of the leaderboard. He has time to make a session. You may notice, kind of parallel to real life, because I was at Silverstone this week, a few weeks ago, for the Grand Prix. The top teams are in the middle of the pit, not at the end or the beginning. So that's a fun fact to know. And there's no Brad Pitt Apex GP garage there, sadly, because there was one. Yeah. And
but I also have a fun fact, actually, if I can jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Silverstone is the only track in this game where the pit limit speed is wrong in-game compared to IRL.
It is.
It's because they've made it 20 kilometers slower, because otherwise you could have entered the pit lane in your quali lap or in the final lap of the race and jumped a position.
Yes, exactly, and you don't want to do that. So please don't do that. In my opinion, they should have the pit lane further away from the finish line, or like the speed limiter closer to the beginning of the slip road, but that's the FIA to deal with. We're on board with Marcus Coster, who I believe missed he missed last week. He got pole in the first round of the season in Brazil, However, he DNF'd after a horrendous string of bad luck moments. But he's here trying to avenge himself after a week away in the Ferrari as he comes round to what we call Luffield, probably one of the best corners of the track for viewing pleasure. Now it's Woodcote, of course, Woodcote, where the race used to begin until the late 90s, where it was moved to after it and before Copse, because they had to start on the straight, so they didn't lose an advantage, and that is a horrendous moment at Copse. He completely missed the turnout, and he is invalidated.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. Tyne also coming into the pit lane, a Red Bull man unable to make an improvement for his sake. Then we got the Alfa Romeo of Liquor Blocks who indeed had invalidated. We also got a Ferrari who's fully off the track. And it's a teammate of Tom, and it's Marcus Costa. He was in a very interesting spot, seemingly fully spun. It seems like it's a 10th improvement so far from Tom. Let's see what he can do when he comes towards the line. The Ferrari driver putting his car up towards third place with a 25.030.
And that puts him in the top 3 for now, and I believe Top G's about to start his lap. And he's coming down the Hanger Straight. That is where I was standing for the race, just before the bridge at Hanger Straight. And it was a fantastic view. No one was there though. Don't know why. But yeah, it's a fantastic view of the track. You get to run the track at the end of the race, which is fantastic. I think they should do it at much more tracks, not just the big ones like Silverstone, Australia, Monza. You should do it at all the tracks, in my opinion.
Danielle already on a 0.7. It's a 24.775 for the, I believe it's an NLR driver. And Etienne Ahmed coming towards the line as well. He puts himself up into second. So it is currently an Alpine 1-2. Normally it would be 2 Frenchmen. In this case, I believe it's a German and an Englishman. But coming towards the line now is a Haas. It's a Haas of OP Twist. He puts himself only 18th still, so he hasn't really found the pace. It's a 25.955 for him, and we've also seen another jump. I think that's from LRB.
Yes, LRB up to 8th. I'm on board with Top G, who's the only driver yet to set a lap. He is currently coming through Copse right now, and then it's Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel. He's driving that black silver arrows like a mean green machine, which, well, to be fair, is it green or is it like turquoise? Because I can't really tell what that colour is. It doesn't really matter anyway, because he's coming right down to the Hanger Straight, driving a number 3, which technically shouldn't be there because, of course, Daniel Ricciardo is in the game. Oh no, he's backed off. He's backed off. He is not very satisfied that lap at all, so he's backed off, went into the pits, and he remains timeless.
Yeah, Top GF1. That sounds like a second account. I can't lie.
I mean, it would be impossible to drive 2 accounts in the one lobby. That would be like
no, but it would
impossible.
be someone who's been previously banned from PSGL driving on the Top GF1.
Oh yeah, to be fair, we could do better with background checking.
It would
drivers.
be Schumacher.
Yeah, but you never hear from Schumacher
I think all
anymore,
all the YouTube chat would know exactly what I'm talking about with Schumacher.
Mick Schumacher, I guess, because he's a Mercedes.
No, it is a German in the league racing scene who's been banned from pretty much every single big league because he just kept straight lining. But he actually is quick, and he's now tried for the 3rd time to get back in the community under a second account.
Straight lining?
Yep.
I actually never heard of that. I know I should know, but I actually don't.
Straight lining is pretty much just cutting a corner fully to take someone out on purpose.
Oh yeah, okay, I get what you mean now. So it's just that I'm not very familiar with some of the jargon, especially when being at a commentator's side, you only see what you get on TV. Everyone's in the pits. Oh, how fun! This is very exciting. Let's see what's going on. We've got Tom coming out, or is it? Yeah, it must be Tom. He's on the right-hand side. They're left of the Ferrari garage, Alpha. And there's Block. BB8's coming out. Sorry, BB8's coming out. It's an Alpha out. So there's 3
It
minutes
means
to
that
go.
everyone's going to be doing their lap on the same time, which is absolutely amazing for a commentator's perspective, because we can not go on board with the correct person at the right time. At least that is my struggle when I'm normally commentating. Fortunately for us, though, we do have an Alfa Romeo who's out first on track, which is OP Daddlepad. I can pronounce the name very Dutch, but Daddlepad is the English pronunciation.
Daddlepad hasn't had a great season. He's had not completed any of the 2 races he competed in. He wants to get on the board tonight, whether it be in or out of the points. He just wants to finish the race, I imagine. Of course, will that happen? We'll have to wait and see. By the way, we've had full attendance in the first 3 races. That is fantastic. I'd say the optimum time would be to go out now. And I think they are going out. I can see, I believe it's Riley. No, it's Armateo coming out and Twist. They need to come out now because
the last person. Armateo's the last person to actually go out the pit box to start his lap time. He said he needs to rush a little bit more, can't do all of that brake dragging, as we know is the meta currently. But let's go on board with OP Daddlepad, because he's the first person to set his lap time. He's like full half a lap ahead of everyone else. So let's just fully go on board with him, trying to accelerate as soon as possible, as much as possible. Coming up towards Abbey and Farm now, trying to cut the apex as much as possible and not hit any of those red curbs. Coming into the arena right now, right corner, not hit the big curb, then onto the left, a really sharp one when it goes as quickly as possible onto the throttle, but not ran wide on the outside here, and a cut on the inside here again, and that's already the first sector fully done. A little bit of a straight now, where the first DRS is past Bucklands. 5,000 of a second improvement. It's a 168 for Daddlepad, which is not really the greatest sector 1. You could definitely go a little bit quicker there towards Luffield, coming up towards Woodcote, and it is an invalidation there. Wide out of Luffield means that Daddlepad has ruined his lap. He needs to hurry up a little bit, and he should be able to do one more. He does have the ERS for it, and now we have to see who is next up towards the line, and that is Riley McKay.
Riley McKay, of course, second in the championship, has a second and a fifth. Has not run a race yet. Funnily enough, none of the top two drivers have won a race yet, because, of course, the 2 race winners only raced in 1 race of the 2. So it's pretty much anyone's game for the title this season so far, as we see a mock Daniel Ricciardo in number 3 in a McLaren in 2022. The livery hasn't really changed much. Of course, coming out of Cops. Yes, you can still race to number 3 in this game, even though it is now taken. You can't take any driver numbers from the actual race drivers, so you can't be the number 44, number 1, number 77, etc. You can only choose numbers that aren't taken from 1 to 99, well, or as in this case, 5 to 99, because 1, 2, 3, 4 are taken, of course. Here he comes, Riley McKay, around the final corner to Vale, and then it'll be Club. He needs to be 1:24.775, so he has to improve by half a second. He probably want to improve by at least a quarter of a second, and he has only improved by 1.5 tenths. That only takes him up to 11th. He's out of the top 10, and Danielle sets the bar even higher, 1:24.724. Tom is a tenth short, but still in second. That may come to be beaten now. Msapala has had an incident at Chapel and is out of the session. He will not be going any further. Tomato's backed out as Costa comes across the line. He's only 4th. Toxic Tomato only 5th, and he might be beaten here as he did not improve. He backed off at the final corner. Rudy Hullet goes up to 4th place.
Yeah, it's everyone improving out and about right here. It's a lot of chaos there.
Top G.
Amateo next up. He will probably be the last person to go for that lap. Top G up in or down into P13. Amateo coming towards the line. He's the final one to say a lap time. He jumps up towards P4 with a 24.907, and it is pole currently for the Italian. Not whatever I said at first. For the Italian Daniel in the Alpine. He is up in first place with a 0.7, which is a very good lap time.
Nearly by a tenth as well. What a time. Danielle was at the top for pretty much the entire session. And he did not fall. A tenth is
massive at Silverstone.
He is massive at Silverstone. And Tom in second, but well off, considering it was a tenth. Usually think you're going to be the hundredths and thousandths that matter, but not here. a fantastic lap from Danielle. Mohammed in third, Matteo in fourth, Ruth Hill in fifth, Marcus Coster in sixth, and Toxic Tomato in the top 7.
Yeah, and that's qualifying already done. They all just fly past in one big train. Looks like it's NASCAR for a little bit, but we got Danielle on pole position with that .7. Now we've got Tom in second, the Australian, probably top of the morning for him. He would be very happy that he hasn't woken up for nothing. Was qualifying up in second place. There you got Mohamed, the second of the Alpine drivers, in third place. We got Mateo, Ruti Khaled, Marcus Costa, Toxic Tomato, Christian Bloktein, and LRB rounding out the top 10. Then we got Dalilpad, Riley McKay, Top GF1, Pedro Vasquez, NLR Edrex, Missipala, Little Blocks, Moustache, Cherno, and OP Twist rounding out the grid. OP Twist actually having an absolute shocker. The man could be an OP, but he's 1.1 seconds off the pace.
There was a twist in the tail there. So yeah, the top 10 separated by just 4/10, which is pretty good compared to Formula 1 standards. Of course, that's the car being built differently, not equal performance, and all being about the driver. So can't really make comparisons there, but should be a fantastic race for all. Hopefully, we have quite the mix. Top G, surprisingly, only 13th. Silverstone might be his weakest link in terms of his skills. So, of course, he got pole last week in Bahrain. And I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Alright, so we should be getting away momentarily. Time, are you still with us?
I am, mate, I am.
Ah, there you are. Alright. So, for some reason, it doesn't show the clock of when we're going to begin, so we're pretty much just waiting for the lights to show up. It's quite ridiculous.
Fortunately, it doesn't anymore. It's just going to be an absolute surprise when it gets ready, and then you immediately got the lights all ready. It seems to be a little bit cloudy, but it doesn't. It's not fully sunny, but it's also not like cloudy. It's like it's in between, so that could indicate maybe some rain later on in the session. I've not read the Discord as of yet, so it will also be a surprise for us. We're currently still waiting for the players, drivers selecting their strategies, their tires, their fuel, and also their tire allocation, although they have done that in the beginning of the session before qualifying even started. But as soon as the drivers have picked their tires and fuel, we will be right underway.
Yes, we will be indeed. We will be underway. If we can actually get underway, for goodness sake. I wish they kept this stupid clock, but they didn't. So, unfortunately, we have to wait a little while. And I don't know if we are going to even get away, it sounds like. I'm just trying to check on what's been said. Nothing much has been said in the chat. Schumacher in the chat for some reason. Alright, here we go. We have 5 lights ahead of the drivers. And we are underway, and I can't really see what the graphics are, but there we go. It's Danielle into the lead, heading into the first corner. And he keeps the lead for now. And Mohammed's went up to second. And Tom trying to take out in the third, but he can't get back into second. Fourth place being battled with between Mateo and Ruti Hurlitz. But it is the 2 Alpines ahead, Danielle and Mohammed, in first and second, and Armateo and Ruti Hurlitz as they come down Wellington Straight and heading into Brooklands. Armateo wants that position back. Tom wants that position back as well. And Armateo and Ruti Hurlitz coming through side by side at Luffield. There's an incident involving a municipality. He's been sent to the back. That's very unfortunate. But the 2 drivers in 4th and 5th still battling for 4th place. And they're coming across these very bang wheels. They had a near Hamilton-Verstappen moment there from 2021, and there's another battle happening between Marcus Costa and Toxic Tomato. Toxic Tomato looks like he's pushing Marcus Costa through Maggots and Beckett's, but Marcus Costa into 6th and holds on to 6th for now, where he started. Ruti Hullet now chasing down Tom, who is chasing down Mohammed. They're all in a nice long order as they come through. Lots of battling in the midfield between Toxic Tomato and Marcus Coster, and Top G and Daddlepad as well. Why did you change those camera angles, you stupid game? Heading into Vale, it's looks like Daddlepad has lost out. Marcus Coster has lost out. Toxic Tomato takes a place, and here comes Top G, who's already... Oh no, there's a big crash! 2 cars involved, Marcus Coster and Top G, drivers who have had success, in the league. Top G, who won last week, and Marcus Coster is on pole in the Premier. He's both spun, and they're both sent down the order, 17th and 18th. Riley Mackay has come into the pits. He must have damage on his car, but a hectic first lap, but it's the 2 Alpines that leads.
Yeah, that move was never going to work from the Top G, just only sticking his front wing in there. It's a move from Ruti Khaled up the inside compared to FVR Tom, still trying to go side by side through Luffield there, and he makes it stick around the outside by Ruti Khaled, and that's an absolutely incredible move, able to accelerate out of there onto that straight in towards Cops there. He's burned a lot of his DRS though already, Ruti Khaled, compared to the others around him, so watch him to be suffering a little bit more on the latter stages, but it doesn't mean a lot. You want to get those overtakes done as soon as possible here on Silverstone, because overtaking can prove to be so incredibly difficult. Toxomato next up towards the back end of Armateo. He's on the medium tires, so he's a lot more grip, and that's going to be an easy overtake on the straight. Daddlepad is too far back to capitalize from that overtake as well. Toxomato then making that move stick. He is on to those mediums, and I am expecting all of these drivers to be pitting, at least all the hard drivers, either to medium or softs, but I'm expecting the medium guys to be pitting towards the set of the soft tires. So it will be an interesting strategy for sure to see. It's very similar towards each other, a lot of hards and medium tires. Also, Niteo, I just commented, we had a lot of drivers on the softs as well. But currently, it's Daniel in the lead, Mohammed second, and Ruti Khaled in third.
And Lickle Blocks and Edrix dueling for 11th place, the first non-points paying position. But it does probably matter because you can get past 12th, you should be going past for 11th. And it's Lickle Blocks and LRB side by side heading into Brooklands. And Lickle Blocks has the inside heading into Brooklands, but it'll be Edrix that heads into Brooklyn. No, it will not. It will not be, because in Luffield he gets shut out by Lickle Blocks, taking 11th place. Now we'll be trying to challenge for the lead. Daddlepad, by the way, up to 6 for Reddy. Great start for him. Toxic Tomato has a great run on Tom. Out of Cops, much more speed, and heading into 4th place whilst heading into Maggots. What a move from Toxic Tomato. He's one of our OGs here. He's one of the veterans, one of the long-time old-timers. He is still showing what he's got. Yes, he's on the medium tyres, but I'm telling you, he's got to make up these positions. It would probably be preferable if there should be a safety car.
Yeah, Toxic Tomato, I believe he's from Wales. He's been in this scene for a long time. I actually spoke with someone who runs a Welsh esports team in the past, and they wanted to sign Toxic Tomato, and they were absolutely gutted because he was so incredibly talented and from Wales, which they don't have a lot there. So you could probably, it's safe to say that he's the quickest Welshman in the F1 scene. But continuing now, it is an overtake that's bound to happen because Daddlepad on those medium tyres, he needs to be making a move as soon as possible, and especially if Tom keeps missing the apex like he just did, an overtake will be inbound very quickly. Still though, not a lot happening, and they just need to capitalize on a mistake to happen from one of these drivers. Ruti Khaled there again, also going a little bit wide, and it is Lickle Blocks going side by side with Pedro Vasquez now into Luffield there, and again a move around the outside from Lickle Blocks.
Oh,
and there's
my
contact.
Goodness, yes, Matteo ran into the back of Tom. Oh my goodness, it's free white going into Cops. This might be disaster. Oh my goodness me, how did they come through that alive? That was insane, and there's still a battle going on.
Wow.
I was about to say 10 BB8 and Tom battling for 7th position, and it's BB8 that gets ahead. Toxic Tomato has cut the corners too many times. He gets the penalty for that. But there was a battle between Tom and Daddlepad, and they both collided, and Armateo ran into the back of them. I fear he might have damaged. He might have got away with it, actually. Well, what about the floor? As Armateo and Tyne BB8 now fighting, Tom is also involved. What does this remind you of, Hamilton fans? What does this remind you of? Look at this! Through goes Tom! Unbelievable stuff! Tom is into 6th place after 10 BB8 and Armateo come together, and Christian Block now gets involved. Time's teammate, and heading in we have 6 cars separated by about 20 metres, and Christian Block is picked up by Armateo. Why am I going like this? It's only lap 5.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible, this race. But the main thing that has happened right here is that there's been a gap in the DRS train. The top 5 fully clear, and that consists of Daniel, Mohamed, Ruti Khaled, Toxic Tomato, who already has a penalty, and Donald Butt. Besides that, everyone else is in a DRS train from 6th onwards, and it's not like it's a small gap, it's 2 seconds, and it will be very difficult for these drivers to gap fully back in. But I don't know why they went 3 wide. It's ridiculous, and the fact that everyone survived shows that all of these drivers are still capable of racing with each other. Top GF1 getting that penalty, a 3-second time penalty for him. He being on the mediums, wanting to make some routes upwards, unable to really do so. And it's all cooling down finally. But just you wait, because in 5 lap time already, all the pit stop games will be happening.
Oh my goodness me. Sorry, Moustache having a close shave with Vasquez there. Coming into Stone. Now coming to Vale, and that is Cherno. Cherno has had a spin. I think it was involving him, and it was at Marcus Costa again. Marcus Costa being involved in 2 incidents now, and what's that? Marcus Costa completely running off and gets a 10-second penalty. Oh no, I don't like where this is going. I think this might be griefing here, and we don't like to see that here in...
No, he spun, and he went off the track, and he entered the track, and the game just said, oh, you went off at that spot, and you went back on that spot, 10-second penalty for you. There you go. It's a ridiculous penalty, but that's what the game is. Armateo, meanwhile, getting a move past Ederex. I do believe I saw a green arrow around there, so that must mean that he was the one that made that move happen. Meanwhile, up front, Mohamed is so incredibly close behind.
Yes, he is. Mohamed trying to overtake his teammate for the lead, but if you battle too much, look who's coming. The cat's away, and the mice are going to play now. The cats are away fighting, so then why not bring the mice into it too? This is a chance for Ruchi Hullet to take the lead. The 2 Alpines go to lead. It's 3 wide. Here comes Ruchi Hullet into the inside. The Alpines are in trouble. The Alpines have been annihilated by Ruti Hurley. He goes up from 3rd to 1st, and the Alpines, oh no, they're in trouble. They're involved with Toxic Tomato. I'm sorry, I was a bit lost for words there, seeing Ruti Hurley take down 2 Alpines. This is why they call him the Iceman. I think he is.
Don't hyperventilate, mate. Keep your breath in. It's not worth dying for, but it's an absolutely incredible move by Ruti Khalid. Going 2 for 1 there. Marcus Costa, retiring in the pit lane. Normally, I don't really agree on drivers retiring in the pit lane, but I think for one, that one is something I can agree on. It's Daniel and Toxic Tomato going side by side with each other. Those medium tires not really doing wonders for Toxic Tomato. And there, he defends his 3rd place position. Just about, but a little bit of a squeeze compared to Daniel. But it's still all very close towards each other, and Daniel is wanting to get back at Toxic Tomato as soon as possible, and maybe he will be able to send something on a hanger straight looking towards Stowe, but it's not there yet. Coming through Maggots Beckett, and Toxic Tomato just driving away more and more, and Daniel driving over those red sausage curbs, and it actually means that Tom has driven himself and that whole train back in the DRS. So we thought it was a fight between the top 5. Scrap that. It's now a fight between the top 1 to fucking 15.
So this has been a disastrous few laps for Daniel. He's went from the lead down to 4th, not even in the podium. By the way, were you given the permissions for F3? Sorry, do you want me to keep updated with the text in the general chat?
Okay, eventually. It's no big deal.
I probably didn't notify everyone that you were going to be in. I'm sorry, but anyway, we won't worry about that too much. I mean, it is just 1 week. Of course, I'm expecting Tom Cairns to be back. Mohamed trying to close up on Ruti Hurlett. They're both on the hard tyres, so they're playing the same game, it seems like. Toxic Tomato has to be very cautious with his tyres. They're going to wear it much quicker than the drivers who are on the hards, of course. That's how that works. The softer those tyres, best grip, but less life. So there's a bit of a drawback in the deal when you choose your tyres, of course. Oh my goodness, I see clouds gathering. Do we have rain on the horizon?
That's exactly one of the reasons why I asked for permission there. I think it will be raining because it's remaining cloudy. Although we had the same sight in the F4 race and it was absolutely dry there. The possibility for rain always haunts there. And the intermediate tires are absolutely so vulnerable to tire wear. You can barely reach 13 laps on it. On lap 13, you have 80% of tire wear. So if we get rain around about now, drivers will need to stretch their tires as long as possible so they have the biggest opportunity to still take it towards the end there. But as soon as we don't see any rain falling, we don't really need to think about raining. Although we do see in the track, Liam Butt, I believe that is a Parnell engineer, saying that it will be raining later on the race.
Oh, no.
So I think we'll be having rain. And the Parnell boys, of course, being Tijn BB and Christian Bloch in the Red Bulls, they currently have a gap between them of 1.3 seconds outside of the DRS range. And Armateo is the one that has to now burn his ERS to close that gap again.
Yes, he has, and he's up into 8th position now. By the way, I haven't got any mention of rain in the Discord chat, so you didn't miss anything. But yes, the Great British River could be striking up again. It struck at the Ashes, costing England the chance to win the Ashes. They won today, drawing the series, but in the fourth test, they were denied a chance of equaling the series by rain and thus lost the series to Australia, who just had to draw to win the series. But anyway, Toxic Tomato needs to make a move now if it's going to rain soon, because he's right behind Mohammed, who's trying to get past Rutihola. He's just hounding. He just wants to get past. Hey, I want my first place back. It was supposed to be mine. You stole it from my teammate and you stole it from me. I want it back for Alpine, for France, well, he's not from France. I think he's from, you said he was from the UK, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Well, it is for France because it is a very patriotic French team in the real world. Look at these 7 cars fighting, and the 2 Hasses have made a move. Oh, no, Twist has just went off the track.
Over the lead! Oh, the Toxic Tomato going around the outside of Mohammed. There was a little bit of contact there. I do believe, or a bit of a scramble. And it is Toxic Tomato who able to get himself up towards P2. And now up to P1. He sends it up the inside compared to Houthi Khalid, still side by side, going through Luffield. Currently needing to swerve himself around the outside, but it's not going to be able to do so. Those mediums are not as fresh as they used to be, but now Toxic Tomato got himself all the way back up towards P2, and now he is the person, the prime opportunity to be taking a lead whenever he wants to up into Stowe, because he will have DRS, and Houthi Khalid ahead of him finally won't. So that means that he has all the opportunity in the world to absolutely send it there whenever he wants to. But everyone's within 2/10 of each other, all the way down towards P5. Meanwhile, Edrex getting that 3-second time penalty. It's on the RS, goes Toxic Tomato, and he there goes for the lead. Through goes Toxic Tomato into the lead on lap 10.
And that really helps because although he has a 3-second penalty, he now has pretty much the lead if it starts to rain, because remember, those tyres, they're much faster, but he's had a slide out of club there. They are much quicker to wear out, so he's got to be hoping that this rain comes as soon as efficiently possible, as the drivers are, oh my, look at this long line. It is so unpredictable when the next move is going to happen. It's insane. You don't know what's going to happen next. This is box office stuff, and this is only F3. Imagine what it's going to be like in PlayStation and PC. It must be more crazy. Well, that's the top of the top of the shop. They are the best drivers we have. We have the 3rd best tier on PlayStation, and this feels like the best in terms of entertainment. Sorry, guys, but where else do you get such entertainment?
I mean, I can name a few places, but they probably won't be PG for PSGL. Moving
Oh,
on,
jeez.
we got Tom very close to the back of Daddlepad.
Why?
He is wanting to also make a move up that Daddlepad, trying to suffer from a little bit all the mediums, but they will not be making a pit stop because they are all waiting for the rain. I can only presume that unless someone wants to be taking a very big risk, hoping that there won't be any rain before the race ends, which are still 15 more laps. All those entertainment, and we're not even halfway. It's absolutely incredible. My voice is starting to go from doing a double commentary stint. But yeah, the top 11 still all between each other. But there is a DRS train from the top 8 onwards because Edrex is not able to keep up with that pace. Christian Block and LRB also in that train, but all unable to really make any gains. LRB currently the one with the most ERS in that train, so he needs to be the one carrying the boats to try and get back forward. But just keep our eyes again on the top because you never know when things was gonna happen. Last time round, and a move happened in the arena, which you would never expect to really see happen. And yeah, everything just happening at the same time. We do have yellow flags, which I do not know for what exactly was.
I think it might
You
have
might
been
know that.
Moustache or
Nickel
Cherno
blocks,
as
maybe.
LRB heads into the top 10 with a move on Christian Block at Brooklands. Started to calm down, I believe, but that might be very premature. Tom is one of the closest gaps in the top 6 or top 7, well, it has to be the top 10, as Tom, coming through Cops, gets a bit of a run. Is that rain I see? No, it's just a reflection from the clouds, sorry. Got a bit baited there, do apologise. Half a second, or 6/10, I should say, is the gap between Toxic Tomato and Rooty Hullet. Then it's Mohammed with about
Yeah,
4.5 temps, then Danielle with 4 temps.
Tom. No.
Sorry, can you hear me okay? Because you seem to...
I can hear you okay. I was going to say that Tom was about to make the move and then he didn't, so I quickly shut up again.
Just wait until
But
I'm
yeah, no,
finished.
he really seemed like he was fully determined to send it up the inside of Daddlepad, but Daddlepad got a little bit too close to Daniel, so he was unable to do so. But I think Roti Khaled will be waiting somewhat with his overtake until the rain comes falling down, because the main place for overtakes is at Stowe, and right after that is the pit lane. So Ruti Khalid knows exactly when he needs to make that move at the right moment to go for the lead. And if it's Inters, they can now finish the race.
Oh
Towards the
no.
end. It will, of course, depend on tyre pressures, but I doubt there will be any punctures unless you get really unlucky. But it will just be a countdown for rain. Meanwhile, LRB 05 goes past Edrex, and like I said, he needed to be the one to be catching up towards that train. During all that fighting, they've lost another second, and I think it's slowly becoming impossible for this train P9 downwards to catch back up towards the leaders.
So Rooty Hullet leads with penalties counted for. Toxic Tomato has a 3-second penalty for track limits warnings. 3 track limits warnings means you get a 3-second penalty, and then 3 more warnings, it's another 3-second penalty, and so on. Unless you cut off the course like Marcus Costa did and get a 10-second penalty for a severe cutting of the course. So we have the top 4 separated by, dare I say it, 9 temps. 9 temps! Are you not entertained? And we're now at the halfway point of the race. Lap 14 of this 150 kilometre and change race. And we have the Toxic Tomato leading, or Tomato if you're from the other side of the world. Ruti Hullet, Mohammed and Danielle, the 2 Alpines in 3rd and 4th, who started the race 1st and 3rd. But now, Mohammed stayed in his position, but Danielle down 3 spots. Toxic Tomato, he has come from 7th to 1st. Now that is something. But remember, take note, he was on the medium tyre, so just take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, and I think the medium runners, they will be begging for rain to happen as soon as possible because their tires are just getting worse and worse. Of course, the hards are getting worse and worse, but you're able to stretch those hard tires a lot longer. And I do believe that they will be starting to get around puncture range by now. So those medium runners do not want the rain to be coming in like 4 more laps. And they'll definitely be asking Jeff, other engineer with all software, when will this rain come? And if they have Jeff, they'll probably say like half an hour. But if they have an engineer with software, they know exactly on what minute the rain will be coming. And that's maybe why they made this call for mediums. So with that knowledge in mind, with that technology being there, I think there will be rain in roughly 3 laps because it's a lot of people going on hard, only a few people knowing that they're able to risk going for that. But I could all be waffling, and it could be no rain coming anytime soon. Top GF1 picking up another penalty. So it seems like it's definitely not his race, even with any safety cars or any crazy luck. He still has 6 seconds after the race that he needs to serve and will lose out on. But currently lap 15 out of 26. 12 more laps to go.
12 more laps to go indeed. And Danielle, I was about to say until we went this long tangent, Danielle was building some momentum on his teammate, but seems to have lost. It must have had a mare in the slower sections of the track. Of course, that being the Village and Aintree and Loop, or the other way around, Village, Loop, or Aintree. I do get it muddled up sometimes. I do apologise. But we all know what I mean. Pedro Vasquez off cameras went up to 14th ahead of Cherno. But it is still Toxic Tomato with a somewhat healthy half a second lead. But remember, he has 3 seconds added on unless Ruti Hullet runs into trouble. The rain could change everything, though. Or actually, wherever it rains, it might change everything, it might not. So this is probably going to be the most crucial part of the race. We could be seeing... is that rain, Timon? Is that rain?
Yes, it is!
Oh,
It
no!
is rain. I don't want to say that I predicted that, but I said lap 16, 17. So those medium runners now want this rain to be calming down as soon and as much as possible. And I think next time round we will be seeing drivers pit towards the intermediates. I think already Riley McKay will be pitting towards the inters, and maybe some other drivers down the field will be risking it, but it doesn't really seem like it will be. And now it's just going to be, we need to look up front, because Ruti Gullit will definitely be making the move now, all or nothing, because he still has DRS. He might need to make the move now, though, because it's unsure if he's going to have DRS at Stoke. I think that's now the risk that he is, Stoke, it's at Stoke. We're not racing all the way to Stoke, hopefully. Ruti Gullit up the inside there of Toxic Tomato, and that's exactly the move we were expecting them to make. It's 88 Mohammed making that move, trying to go around the outside, but there's simply not enough grip for that, especially with the rain now. To Alpine side by side, but Daniel leaves the space for Mohammed. Mohammed now on the ERS trying to get past Toxic Tomato, but that is not possible again as well. Now going towards Cops there. It's a massive lead for Robbie, for Ruti Gullit there, and they are absolutely accelerating and going as far as possible. And now the DRS still enabled side by side. It's Daniel getting past Mohammed. Amazing move there from the Alpine. 0 team orders given there. It's flashing there from Toxic Tomato, nearly losing it to Daniel. Keeps control of his car. There comes Mohammed back at him there. Still no overtake, and I think everyone will be out to the pit lane now.
Yeah, they gotta go to the pit lane, surely. Toxic Tomato had an absolutely horrendous time at Brooklands, but they're not coming in. They think it's not time yet. But Danielle has decided to come in. Danielle is coming in into the pits. Is this... Yeah, that is 60 kilometers per hour. Coming into the pits, and oh dear, and Edrex gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. This is the most crucial part of the race now, the pit stops, the changing conditions here at Silverstone. The Great British River has arrived at its home of Silverstone, and Ruti Hullet is now under the cosh. He has to pit later, but this means that Daniel could be at an advantage. He could not be. Either he's done it completely right or completely wrong. We will soon see in the next 90 seconds as Daniel makes his leave from the pit. He will be leaving in 12th place. That means
a lot of grip still on track. Ruti Gullit still surviving, and they're not all panicking all that much. They will definitely be in this lap. My controller's turned green, by the way, which could indicate that it's time for him. I don't know if it works like that, but I only just figured it out.
Green flag, maybe.
Ruti Gullit, they have a lot of grip still. Like, it doesn't seem like it's time for intermediates just yet. But also, Daniel is not losing. He's actually gaining time towards Cherno. But now he's losing again. So, I think it's going to be very, very close. If they make the right call, the leaders, they are able to really capitalize on it. Now everyone will be pitting. You have a spinner further back. That is Top G. He has gone round. Let's hope no one speeds in the pit lane. But every single driver that hasn't pitted yet is now coming in towards the pit lane.
Twist really struggling out of that Stowe corner, comes in
Oh,
Cherno staying out. Cherno is staying out, and hold on, what's happened to Top G? Top G is coming around slow. I don't know what's going on.
He spun twice, and I think he's just about to retire.
Yeah, he's coming in, he's slowing down. It looks like an engine failure in the real life. But here it is, this is the moment. Danielle, is he in the net lead? He's right behind Daddlepad, who's just...
No.
Sorry?
He's not.
No, he's not behind Daddlepad, he's in front of... Who is that then? Oh, it's Pedro Vasquez, I think. How is that?
They've made a jump. The Inter drivers have pitted early. Daddlepad around the outside. He makes it stick up the outside. Again, it's Daniel. And around goes Toxic Tomato. Such a good opening stint. And there he goes. All of his progress seemingly lost. It's slipping away from him. Down to 9th. He goes Top G is pitted towards a fresh set of softs. I don't think that's the right tire to make your pit stop on currently. Ruti Gallik, though, survived 1 lap longer. Now is a gap of 1.5 seconds. Seemingly, it was exactly equal.
Yeah, and Daddlepad, how is Daddlepad in 3rd place? I don't understand.
Undercut.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Daddlepad, I completely forget about it. I do apologise to you, sir. It's just seemingly come out of nowhere. But Ruti Hullet now has the net lead because Cherno has to pit now, surely. He has lost so much time by coming in late. Toxic Tomato's got another 3-second penalty. He's now 6 seconds of penalty. Cherno finally does give up the ghost, comes in to the pits. And now Ruti Hullet will have the race lead proper coming out of the final corners. Ruti Hullet, who put on an insane move to go from 3rd to 1st. Now in the lead, in the driving seat with everyone in the inters with 8 laps to go. By the way, Top G is on softs. Is that correct?
It is correct. And then now you see all those dots on track, which pretty much means it's inters now. You also see puddles. He seemingly has still more grip than
I know, he's battling knuckle blocks here.
Him, and he's staying out. He's committed to the softs.
I know what he's trying to do.
It's an interesting strategy.
I know what he's trying to do.
Would have seen this on PC, they would think it's Scrapax, but we're on PlayStation.
I think I know what he's trying to do, Timon. I think he's trying to hope that it only rains for like 2 minutes and then it stops. And look at that, you can see the complete difference in speed from Top G. Goes back ahead of Lico Blocks. I'm not sure how long that's going to last. If it does, that is. And Tom and Danielle have completely overlooked this, having a great battle into cops. This is for 3rd place. This is for the podium positions. Tom is absolutely hounding it at Danielle. Now, can he get past him? He's going to have a great run outside off the Chapel Corner. And here he comes now. And he's got Daddlepad ahead of him. This might be free wide action. Danielle on the outside gets past Daddlepad. Now Daddlepad is a blockade to Tom, who cannot get anywhere. Daddlepad's trying to find a position back. He's going to go to the outside of Fail. Going into the corner. He'll have the racing line. He's been pushed. What's that? What was that? And Tom, no! It's a triple whammy! And through goes Mohammed! What is this? Look at this!
It's absolutely incredible. I don't know what
I'm on the verge of screaming!
Okay, let's recap. Ruti Gallik pretty much got the way there because of this. But Tyne now up into a 3rd place, still side by side between Armateo and Danielle. They're wanting to make a move. They're absolutely fighting against Tyne and BB. So Tyne and Tom side by side. So Tom has made that mistake there. It's FVR versus Parnell, and FVR coming out on top. As it should. Tom now coming up towards Mohammed, trying to make that move, and he makes that move as well. Tom absolutely flying on the straight compared to the other drivers. It's absolutely massive. Seats up the inside goes Stein now. Drew Lovefield trying to make it all stick there, unable to really go for it. Still side by side cops. DRS only disabled now. Why is it not done earlier? That's why the move was so easy. Tyne coming through up the inside of Mohammed. Mohammed making all those gains. Drew Vale and unable now to keep with it. He is now coming down towards 4th place again.
QWERTY Urioro Fogolov is my reaction in the chat to all this unfolding. This is insane! But I think they've ruined the fun by turning the DRS off. Let's find out if that's true. Here comes Armateo, no DRS. Only the battery to go. And into 4th place he goes, and now he'll be chasing time for 3rd place. I don't know what's going to happen next, and I fear what's going to happen next. I don't think my heart will take it anymore. And I'm only 24. Here comes Mohammed trying to get past. He lost a couple positions after losing battles with Tyne and Marmitino, and he nearly loses it out of club. With Tom in 2nd place now as well. So this is horrendous for Alpine. They were 1st and 3rd, now they are 5th and 6th. And Toxic Tomato down in 7th, where he started. So he's made no gain, but then again, no loss either. However, he has a 3-second penalty, a 6-second penalty, sorry. He has 2 3-second penalties, so at this rate, he's 10th. Oh. And Top G's got a penalty, still on soft tyres.
Still on softs? He's stayed
out.
What's
this? Well, you know, if he stays out, he could win. He could
win. I'll be honest, I've got no clue what's happening. I do know that Ruti Khalid lost a lot of time on this lap, and Tom is absolutely flying in comparison to him. 2 seconds is the gap, and the gap was like 3.5 seconds a little bit ago. So if it remains like this, we have a solid chance that Ruti Khalid could get under real big pressure a few laps before the end by Tom. And Tom, he's driven away with more than a second from Tyne. And Tyne is driven away nearly more than a second towards Armateo. And then you still got Mohammed there within 0.5 of a second. But it's all coming down like crazy. And the Alpines, who started off 1 and 3rd, into turn 1 they were P1 and P2. They are now in P5 and P7 after Toxic Tomato has now gotten past Danielle as well. And it makes me wonder if Danielle maybe has got some damage from that contact.
Either he's got damage or he set up the car for dry conditions. I think Tom has been prepared for the wet conditions tonight.
It's 1.4.
1.4, this is insane.
Because Tom is not necessarily driving away from the guys behind him. Ruti Khalid is just incredibly struggling and not comfortable with that weather. And he got so lucky with all that contact, all that fighting. And he now knows that he's going to be in some big trouble. It's insane how much he's losing. It makes me think if he's got damage or something picked up earlier on, because damage in the rain is really a killer. But now the gap is 1.1 seconds. He's just losing a second a lap. And it could be that next lap, on exactly this point, Ruti Khalid and Tom will be side by side and Tom will be taking the lead. I'm not envisioning anything, but it could very well happen.
It could indeed, and look at this. Tom is just on a flyer. He needs to get past Ruti Khalid clean though. If he has an incident with Ruti Khalid, it could undo all the hard work he has done throughout this race, especially with that charge he's had in the rain. He is singing in the rain tonight, I tell you. What a glorious feeling. He must be happy again. And Top G is actually coming to the pit, and he's actually disconnected from the session. Must have been intentional when he's finally on intermediate tyres.
I think he tried to retire from session and accidentally pressed leave session.
Oops.
I'm not saying that. I've never done that before.
Oh, okay. So the closest gap, the gaps have really spread out. I think it's the rain that's done it. Armateo is the closest gap amongst the top 5, but we have a battle between LRB and Dadopad. Dadopad having a look at the inside on Vale for 8th place, and he takes the 8th place very nicely, but not finished yet. LRB on the outside had a look, but he won't get the move, so he's going to now go try and chase Danielle down, who's been having a horrendous race. He started first, he's already lost 6 positions.
Yeah, LRB also a member of Talent Factory, I do believe. Just someone who doesn't have it in his name. I could be wrong on that actually, but in my mind he's always affiliated with Talent Factory. But let's take a look at the lead, because this lap Ruti Khalid only lost like a 10th. So the gap's significantly stagnated. Ruti Khalid is dealing with his ERS a lot better compared to Tom. But Tom just having a lot more grip in these wet weather conditions. It seemed like all the interrunners did pit 1 lap too early, because with that high tyre wear there was, the percentage difference in tyre wear is like 10% already. So they're definitely suffering a lot more. Dadopad, meanwhile, making a move on Danielle nearly up the inside of Cops, but they're still waiting, and there's such a grip difference. Danielle really struggling, and it seems like all of the NLR drivers are just struggling intensely in the rain.
I thought he hit him there. coming out of Beckett's. He's
I think
going
it's a setup
all
related
over the
thing.
place.
And I was slow.
Can I finish?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I've been cut off about 20 times now. And here comes Daniel. Oh, nearly got past Daniel. He doesn't want to lose another place. And he has the inside into Stowe. And he takes the position like taking candy from a baby, as Martin Brundle would say. And now he's lost position. And there's another battle here between Twist and Msapala. And Twist has gone up to 12th. But will that last any longer? Here comes Msapala. Come on, give me better camera angles than this. Coming through to 12th place again, but OP Twist, oh, he nearly lost it there, but he stays on the track. Ruti Hullett still in the lead by 9 tenths. It hasn't changed much. Has Tom's hot streak started to fade away?
It could definitely be the case. A big slide there from Dadelpad. Lickle Blocks also getting a penalty, 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane. He's another person to retire from this session down in 17th. He was unlikely to be scoring points anyways. Tom, yeah, he's just gaining by a 10th a lap now, getting into the area where he's getting some dirty air. So that doesn't mean that he's able to gain all that much from it. Riley McKay also retiring from the pit lane, but it's a little bit longer is retiring, so he does gain up towards P17 now. It's not going to matter a lot at this point. But they're still all going. And the question is, will Tom be able to gain enough time and momentum to really attack Ruti Khalid?
We'll have to find out. We have 2 laps, and he needs to gain an average of, I'd say, a quarter of a second per lap. And he needs to do it as soon as possible because he's going to get dirty air and not a lot of visibility considering we are in wet conditions. It's a lot more tougher, as I thought he made a slide into Vale there. That would have been catastrophic for his winning chances here. But he needs to keep it clean as well. Ruti Gullit has to put up his end of the bargain as well. He's got to keep it clean. If he can keep it clean, he will win the race. In the number 69, I notice a lot of drivers have the number 69. I don't know why.
Oh my days, no.
What's happened?
He's ghosted Riley. Riley McKay's ghosted, but he blocked Ruti Khalid.
Oh.
Because he retired in the pit and he came out right ahead of Ruti Khalid and the gap is now fully tied up and it's so close again.
Oh no, that's catastrophic. Ruti Khalid will now be having words with Codemasters if that is the case. And 10 BB8 is just an innocent bystander here. He is licking his lips, seeing what's happening. He's becoming very interested here. If there is a collision between Ruti Khalid and Tom that slows them down, this could be the championship leader's chance to make an even bigger lead in his championship. He is on the lead with... let me just check. He is on 22 points. If he wins, he gets 38. He's currently on 32 as we speak. Who has the fastest lap? It is Dadelpad. So he'll get an extra point as he is in the top 10. But here we go. 1 1/4 laps down to Chapel we go. Down the Hanger Straight we go. The third sector. Here we go. This is the chance for Tom. This is it. Here he comes on the outside of Stall Corner. What is Ruti Hurley's response? He is on the outside at Vale. Can he make a move? No, he can't. And Thomas slid into the corner. Thomas slid into the corner. Ruti Hurley is impeded. Penalty for Tom. That's catastrophic. He's coming around the outside. Oh, no! Ruti Hurley's out! Ruti Hurley's out! And BB8's in the net lead! I knew it would happen, and it has! But here's Matteo on the outside! Matteo looking at his badge for BB8! BB8's in the net lead! Tom's got a penalty! What's just happened?
They know it's for the lead now. Matteo wants to get past time. It all matters now for them because he knows he can see that Tom has a penalty up ahead. There was contact, and I'm not going to be looking into the contact. It's happened. We can't do anything about it now. We have to focus our eyes now on that lead battle. Oh, Matteo versus Tide. It is currently, unless Tom is able to remove his penalty later on, but that's not one of our troubles or issues for now. Now we need to see, can Tyne keep it up with everything? Oh my days, my voice is absolutely ruined. Your voice probably is also, but we're coming towards Beckett's on the final lap now. We need to go on board with our Matteo because he's the person that needs to do it right here, right now. Needs to get the best exit he can, turn on the ERS, but I think he's too far.
He's not got any ERS. He's not got anything. I think BB8 Tyne has won the lottery again. He knew Tom and Bertie Hullett were going to get too involved. And BB8, Tyne, I should say, Tyne is going to pick up the pieces. Tom will finish first, but he will not get the win unless he gets it removed. There might be an appeal, but Tyne is going to cross the line as your winner in the most insane ending and increases his lead to 38 points in the championship. I apologise for losing my voice. I'm sure you had the exact same reaction as me. That was a mental end to a mental race.
Oh, I don't think it helps for me that I'm doing 2 commentaries in a row. My voice is absolutely gone. But that race, that ending was phenomenal. I don't think anyone would have expected it. And I haven't seen the incident properly, but I just know it was 2 drivers going absolutely forward without anything, without any backing down. Tom locked the race up towards the final, in the final sector. And in Ville there, he just was narrowly able to save his car, slightly went off track, picked up his third warning there, which resulted in him having a penalty. Then it was Ruti Khalid going for the switchback side by side, and in the rain it's more difficult than you think. They just collided 2 tires against each other, and it resulted that Ruti Khalid was sent into the wall on the right-hand side, onside finish.
Timon, breaking news. Tom's going to appeal his penalty. It's not over.
Oh.
And speaking of Tom, Tom Cairns, what have you done? You've missed an absolute banger again.
Wow.
What was that?
I don't have any words for this race. I mean, now seeing these final standings right here, he came from P9 down, but the eventual race winner probably being Tom from 2nd place. In the rain, deserved on pace, but I don't think we'll be hearing the end of this because I doubt the NLR front will not be forcing a report in there. Tom left the session. I hope for him he's got his race director all ready and set to go.
I'm rewatching the footage. There's your result, by the way. BB8. Tyne. Sorry, I'd like to apologise for anyone calling him BB8. I can't pronounce Tyne or Tijan or whatever you say it very well. Neither can Tom, to be fair. So we can relate. Yeah, thank you. Tyne. Matteo, Tom. Your top 3. There's the rest of the order, but it's Matteo, BB8, Tyne, Matteo, Tom, Mohammed, Dadopad, your top 5, and then Danielle, LRB, Block, M. Sapala, and it's cut off on my screen. Toxic Tomato is your provisional, very provisional top 10. Toxic Tomato, Edrex, Twist, Pedro Vasquez, Moustache, all not score. Top G, Ruti Hullett did not finish, but they get points anyway. They get on the board anyway. Riley McKay, Lico Blocks, and Marcus Coster, who again fails to finish. But you must feel for Ruti Hullett. He had to do all that work, and then it had it lost by an incident involving Tom. Whether it was whoever's fault, we don't know. But the moral of the story is, your winner provisionally is Tyne, and he's going to be a championship leader with at least 34 points. I say at least because it might be 38 because he won the race tonight, but that's very provisional. If Tom gets his penalty for 3 seconds appealed, it's for cutting the corner, by the way. It may have been his own accord. I'm not sure about the crash, though. I've just noticed it's for cutting the corner at Club.
So I got the POV here already from Ruti Khalid, and it seems like from the POV of Ruti Khalid, I'm saying this, Ruti Khalid is ahead when it comes on the main straight. And it seems like Tom loses his rear end and hits Ruti Khalid, which then sends Ruti Khalid into a crash into the wall on the right-hand side. So I think stewards will definitely be getting involved. If Tom were to be able to remove his penalty, I think the NLR boys will be reporting this either way because it cost him a whole lot of points I definitely think next week, once you'll be back, you'll be able to know a lot more details on who finished where, because I am very confident that currently a lot will be changing.
I probably have to say the same. Considering what happened, and we don't know the order probably, I think it's going to be a time when in my opinion, honestly, I think Tom might not get that penalty taken off for him. He did cut the corner on his own accord. He wasn't pushed by Ruti Hula on my screen. So I fear that this may be going against Tom, and Tyne might have just won the Mega Millions or the Powerball, whatever, the one that's $1 billion. So he's going to cash that into the bank, it seems, with a 38 points now. By the way, in second place, I think will be, as I'm trying to get it up, hold on. I can't even remember who finished in second. I'm trying to do the math for the race. I think
it was
Armateo. Yes, Armateo. Thankfully, I'm trying to process what just happened. Armateo. There was no contact actually between them. Just checking the map. Armateo will go up to 12 points. I think Tyne might have what looks like a 20-point lead. I think it will be a 20-point lead for Tyne, and that is insane considering we're only 3 rounds in. You get 16 for a win here, 12 for second, 10 for third, 8 for fourth, and then 6 to 1 for fifth down to 10th.
Logan, I think we can speculate as much as we want,
but we only got one.
With the crazy race that we had, there was collisions, of course, all over the place.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say is I should recommend the viewers to come back next week to have the same chaos, entertainment, and to know the answers of exactly what happened with the stewards' inquiries. Yeah.
Well, I think we need a rest. I think we should stop immediately and try and get a rest from what happened, and we'll pick up from it next week, which will be in Qatar. And hopefully Tom Cairns will be back. Thanks for filling in at the last moment, by the way, Timon.
No biggie.
Hopefully that normal service will resume with Tom Cairns, because I miss him. I miss him. He's not even at. I don't think he was at F1 this week at all. I think he was in Brighton. I know that. He must have been working at F1 in Belgium. Well, he wasn't in Belgium. He worked in London. But enough about his personal life. We are done here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for racing if you are a race driver. But we don't know if this will be the end. But we all know one thing: Tyne has won the race at the last moment, and there could be a massive stewards' inquiry. We'll pick up on it next week. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in Qatar. Good night.